Meta has always been a pioneer in open AI, taking a different approach from other companies. While competitors like OpenAI and Google have kept their most advanced AI models behind closed doors and charge for access, Meta has chosen to offer its Llama models for free, allowing developers and businesses worldwide to use them.
Today, we're excited to deliver on the long-awaited Llama 3.1 405 billion parameter model that we previewed back in April. We're also updating the 8 and 70 billion models with new, improved performance and capabilities. The 405 is hands down the largest and most capable open source model that's ever been released. It lands improvements in reasoning, tool use, multilinguality, a larger context window, and much more. And the latest benchmark numbers that we're releasing today exceed what we previewed back in April. So I encourage you to read up on the details that we've shared in our newly published research paper.
Alongside the 405B model, we're releasing an updated collection of pre-trained and instruction-tuned 8B and 70B models to support use cases ranging from enthusiasts and startups to enterprises and research labs. Like the 405B, these new 8 and 70B models offer impressive performance for their size, along with notable new capabilities. Following feedback we heard loud and clear from the community, we've expanded the context window of all of these models to 128K tokens. This enables the model to work with larger code bases or more detailed reference materials. These models have been trained to generate tool calls for a few specific functions, like search, code execution, and mathematical reasoning. Additionally, they support zero-shot tool usage. Improved reasoning enables better decision-making and problem-solving. Updates to our system-level approach make it easier for developers to balance helpfulness with the need for safety.
We have been working closely with partners on this release, and we're excited to share that in addition to running the model locally, you'll now be able to deploy Llama 3.1 across partners like AWS, Databricks, NVIDIA, and Grok, and it's all going live today.
At Meta, we believe in the power of open source, and with today's release, we're furthering our commitment to the community. Our new models are being shared under an updated license that allows developers to use the outputs from Llama to improve other models. This includes outputs from 405B. We expect synthetic data generation and distillation to be a popular use case that enables new possibilities for creating highly capable smaller models and helping to advance AI research.
Starting today, we're rolling out Llama 3.1 to Meta AI users, and we're excited to bring many of the new capabilities that Angela outlined to users across Facebook, Messenger, WhatsApp, and Instagram. With the release of 3.1, we're also taking the next steps towards open source AI becoming the industry standard, continuing on our commitment to a future where greater access to AI models can help ecosystems thrive and solve some of the world's most pressing challenges. We look forward to hearing your feedback and seeing what the developer community will build with Llama.
So, it might come as a surprise to many when Meta begins charging for Llama next year. However, it's important to clarify that Meta isn't making Llama completely closed source, and not everyone who uses the Llama models will be required to pay. What Meta is actually doing is making the terms of Llama's open source license stricter, meaning that companies using Llama for commercial purposes on a larger scale will have to start paying to access the models. At the moment, Meta already has some limited rules in place. For example, the very largest companies, like the big cloud providers, or those with over 700 million monthly active users, can't use Llama.
Release today is Llama 3.1, and we're releasing 3 models. The first time we're releasing a 405 billion parameter model. So it's by far the most sophisticated open source model that I think anyone has put out. And it really kind of is competitive with some of the leading closed models, and in some areas is even ahead. So I'm really excited to see what people do with that, especially now that we're making it so that the community policies around Llama allow people to use it as a teacher model to distill and fine tune and basically create whatever other models they want with it. In addition to that, we've distilled the 405 billion parameter model down to make newer and updated and now leading for their size 70 billion and 8 billion parameter models. They also have really good performance, really good kind of cost per performance ratios. So I'm really excited to see what everyone does with this. Yeah, I mean, taking a step back, I think this is a pretty big moment for open source AI. Um, I've been reflecting on this, and I kind of think it's, I've thought for a while that open source AI was going to become the industry standard, and I thought that it would basically follow the path that Linux did, where if you just go back to before Linux was popular, there were all these companies that had their own closed versions of Unix, and at the time, there's nothing that was sort of that sophisticated that had ever been done as an open source project, and people thought, hey, no, this is like the closed model of development is the only way to do something that's this advanced. And at first, Linux kind of got its foothold because it was cheaper, because developers could customize it in different ways. And then over time, as the ecosystem built out, it got more scrutiny, so it actually became the more secure one. It became the more advanced one. There were more partners that basically had built more capabilities. In the case of Linux, more drivers and things like that. That basically ended up making it have more capabilities as well than any closed source Unix. So I think that this moment with Llama 3.1 is kind of like that inflection point where I think Llama has the opportunity to become the open source AI standard, for open source to become the standard, the industry standard for AI. And even in the places where it's not yet ahead on performance, it leads on kind of cost and on customizability and on the ability to take the model and fine tune it and do all the things that you want with it. So I think that those are just huge advantages that we're going to see developers take, and we're focusing on building out this partner ecosystem, and there are going to be all these different capabilities that get built out around it. So yeah, really excited to talk about
Llama for free. Back in 2023, Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said, if you're a company like Microsoft, Amazon, or Google, and you're reselling Llama, we think we should get a portion of the revenue. It may not bring in a lot of money in the short term, but in the long run, we hope it will. This paved the way for Meta's decision to start charging. Next year, Meta plans to expand the group of companies that need to pay, including more large and mid-sized businesses. Why is Meta making this strategic shift? Keeping up with the cutting edge of AI is incredibly expensive. If Meta wants to keep Llama competitive with the latest models from OpenAI, Anthropic, and others, it will need to invest billions of dollars every year. This isn't pocket change. And as the cost of training AI models skyrockets, it's becoming unsustainable for Meta to keep spending vast amounts of money with no return. While Meta is one of the world's largest and wealthiest companies, it's still a publicly traded company that has to answer to its shareholders. It can't keep pouring money into training Llama models without a plan to make money from it. With the increasing cost of developing AI, if Meta doesn't start generating revenue soon, it won't be able to continue investing at this scale. So, starting in 2025, Meta will begin to seriously monetize Llama to cover these high development and operating costs. For hobbyists, researchers, individual developers, and startups, Llama will still be free to use next year. However, starting in 2025, Meta will tighten up its policies and start charging, especially for large enterprises and commercial applications. In short, Meta has always taken an open approach, but as the market and technology evolve, it has to adjust its strategy to remain competitive in the AI space. We can expect Llama to no longer just be a free tool, but rather become an important commercial asset for Meta moving forward.